The internet biggest cloud chaser Big Homie CC is making some pretty serious accusations against ច្ច100 and Luce Cannon, even claiming that the feds came to his mama job to question him about Luce Cannon. So we're going to discuss exactly what the feds wanted to talk to him about in regards to Luce Cannon now. Before he spoke on ច្ច100 and Luce Cannon and made the serious accusations. There has been an ongoing beef between Luce Cannon, ច្ច100 and Big Homie CC. Now this beef started when Big Homie CC did an interview calling out Busta Rhymes, alluding to Busta Rhymes being in the closet. Seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before. Oh yeah, in some of your videos. Oh yeah, super zest monster for sure. Bro, that's my thing bro. Like this been common knowledge though, like all my promoter homies would always say, man you know we got to bring some what they call them I'm not going to say here, they call them fun buoys. They say we got to have some fun buoys in the section for Buster, cause you know I bodyguard for Ghostface Killer before, you feel me, and being around him you hear things, you feel me, on my soul. I'm out with a group of people at this time. I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him? No, never heard of him. Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin and the club. We ended up going to bust Rams in there, so he got it was a little lawyer guy that was with us, and the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy bro. Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad, like what pulled him to the section like through the rope and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. I see interviews from guys like this almost routinely nowadays, so when I see a random dude making a claim about a celebrity, I don't really look too much into it bro. I just see it as cloud chasing, to be honest. So ច្ច100 and this dude was in the same clubhouse room and the subject came up, and people I guess let ច្ចknow. Oh, this the dude who's claiming that he's security guard for Busta Rs before, or he was in the vicinity of Busta Rhymes before, and Busta Rise goes a certain way. ច្ច100 would say that him and Busta Rhymes has a personal relationship, so he took offense to it, so that led to Big Homie CC and ច្ច100 having, I guess, a squirms on the clubhouse floor, and things got really heated really fast. My homie right here PK know everybody, right? So I never worked for you. Said that though, __, you disrespected the homie bro, __, said you saw Busta Rhymes doing some funny, my __, brother to me bro. Who am I talking to? Right, __, you talking to ច្ច__, you said Busta was doing some funny __, on your watch. You said it bro, so don't come on here now talking about you never work with him homie. You disrespected that __, brother to me, and that a cool that __, got kids bro. Why would you do that bro? I was with Don Benjamin that night, and I was Benjamin. What rappers you work with bro? Cause you was claiming you been around all the rappers and you seen all this __, you already didn't got caught line, cause on Cam Capone you talking you was with busting all this __, what rappers you work with bro? I'm call direct after this clubhouse skirmish. I guess ច្ច100 and Big Homie CC now consider themselves ops, so they were going back and forth after this online right interview for interview. Now this was all virtually until they met each other in person in Vegas. Now apparently they were both at the same event by accident. They weren't planning the meet up, they just crossed paths, and when they cross paths, a few seconds of their interaction is captured on camera. Somebody I have in for what? Y'all got too much power on, y'all got too much power. Oh insane. I wake up in the morning, I get day, I'm not a professional smoke spotter, so I can't spot if it was animosity or smoke when they seen each other. However, from what I watched from my untrained eye, it looks like they had a positive conversation. However, after they met up in Vegas, both sides were rushed to the internet with different views of what took place. So they told similar stories, but they will both have discrepancies there to make the other look like they pressed the other. So Big Homie CC would claim that his brother was there and his brother was punking. ច្ចwill say that him and Luce Cannon had Big Homie CC homies running, and they were terrified of Luce Cannon and him, so both sides came together on a joint podcast with real life production to talk about the difference in their stories of what took place that night when they met each other in Vegas. Luce Cannon say CC, please take a picture with the homie. BR never say no stupid like that when homie you homie I got the footage and I'm glad y'all doing all of this. Cause my cameraman got everything and y'all just put it out. Got footage of your brother putting his fingers in my face bro. Go to luce.com and get you a big hat. Hey bro, you got footage of your brother cause I ain't see your brother if he was with you. He wasn't around right there. You said fingers in my face. You said you see him run. That's when we first came in. Run. When we first came in it's a group of y'all ran. We didn't run back to you till 2.5 hours later. Where are you? __. From what you mean where we from? Shut up you with some stop lying bro. The only thing that happened to you is got popped and put waved your camera. I put like you on camera. I do something bad too. __. Like you. Here's the thing I hear street dudes say all the time. I don't wish jail on my worst enemy for free. The enemy man right. Apparently when street dudes want to sound cool and tough they say I don't wish jail on my worst enemy, but it looks like Big HCCE is a little different because it looks like he's gloating right, taking pride and pleasure in Luce Cannon being locked up. Now he has a particular theory of why Luce Cannon and others is currently locked up, and here's what Big Home CC had to say in regards to who he blames for everybody getting locked up. I want to ask one more question. When we had agreed to do the stream with the WAC 100 police force and the rest of the federal investigators on his team, and then he brought the other informant who was convicted of beating up several fae in Chicago, the guy Lenny West, who they call Coffee. When you see me bullying all of them cause my brain got damaged by y'all fans cause they wanted to see me crash out against the fake gangster police guys. So when I got on the stream I jumped off because I'm like, these guys are the cops. They GNA record all they do is police tactics. WAC said he worked for the FBI. In his Vlad interview, L Cannon is doing things on camera that will get you a prison sentence. What he said about WAC isn't true, and regardless of what you think about WAC, let's not lie on a man, right? I believe what he's referring to when he says this is a clip that's been going viral where WAC 100 is talking about the FBI and he's saying yo they will say this, but he's speaking in like first person point of view from the FBI perspective, so that clip got clipped out of context and is now going viral. But no, WAC never said that he was FBI or worked for the FBI in the Vlad TV interview, and that's the thing with Big Homie CC, and what I believe takes away from his credibility. Big Homie CC would do an interview, he would essentially say things from like a general knowledge, right? Like for example, he would say something like, oh you see why I told y'all human trafficking is in hip-hop, which is yeah right, the F have charged a few different people with human trafficking due to no just sleeping with 3 or 4s of flying women out, but then he will go from that to oh this person is human trafficking. I got the files because I work for the FBI and I have. In turn he was a capper, so yeah he tells a lot of lies but mix some truth in there, and that's why you have to be very careful when listening to a dude like this bro, cause he's been lying for so long that right now he's really skilled at the art of just capping. You seen the guy 600 on the phone with them when they call me, he down at the police station getting a custom badge, and you see what I'm up against. I don't think we saw it at the time. This __. I can agree with that, but the thing is though you don't communicate as good as Rook. You see what I'm saying? So that's what was causing the discrepancy between us. I'm like, hey man, this man bro, when I ran into them at the Las Vegas Convention Center you introduced us to Luce right before that. Yes, cause he the one got me my no jumper interview. They've been trying to line me ever since then. Yeah, you like street stars over here. When I see them at the Las Vegas Convention Center, the feds was there surveilling the whole thing, watching in the building. This is one of those things you got to take with a grain of salt because there's absolutely no proof, but this is what I say. By GCC will mix up 95% cap, 5% truth and right. Like for example when he says yo the fence was in the building, surveillance watching everybody. Now this is months after, well, months before Luce Cannon got indicted by the feds, so one can probably jump to the conclusion logically, okay, maybe the feds was following Luce Cannon around, because they was building a case on him. They was investigating him maybe, but the chances of that the Fed is following Luce Cannon around 247 without indicting him yet is slim to none, especially for what he's being accused of. It ain't really like out Chapo level serious, you feel me, but he would mix up the truth of, yeah, Luce Cannon got a Fed indictment. The Fed has been investigating Luce Cannon with of the Feds was all around two parameters, you know, and Fed was working with them. If the Feds were working with Luce Cannon, Lowe wouldn't be arrested and charged in this, right? Luce Cannon would be home right now chilling like everybody else. How much police activity is Wack really involved in? Like as we see, he was the only one that has been picked up by the Feds. The man is getting unsealed paper. He's getting people's cases that's sealed, unsealed, which I thought was impossible. He's getting it and then dropping the paperwork. How is that? Is that possible? How is that possible? How is it that you, the one called J. Ree, and them up to no jumper, set it up for loosing them to attack them, and you're not indicted? How can you make terroristic threats over the he threatened Aaron the plumber's life on camera? Nothing happens to him now, mind you. I would say no, he can't be working for the laws he said he was at. In his interview he said he worked for the FBI. That's why Big E was like, man, the man said he worked for the FBI. Why is y'all supporting him? So that whole 100 show is a team of informers and wire wearers. He would then say the Fed showed up to his mama's job looking for him to question him about Luce Cannon. Now according to him, the Fed wanted to find out whether or not Luce Cannon had a gun on them when they have their link up in Vegas. When I see them, man, all of them, underscore, was it up in there? The Feds was in the building surveilling that. They got pictures of that. They had my mama job this morning. So when people say why Wack saying he gonna be standing next to your mama, I'm like, man, he don't know my mama. He's saying that because he defend he's a he work for the law. The FBI was at my mama job this morning at the school trying to ask me some questions. Said I'm not under no law. They want to ask me some questions about that situation because they trying to figure out if L. Cannon had a firearm that day. A felon shouldn't have no firearm that day. I got CCW. I don't have no felonies. I'm good. How many people, if you don't mind, back in the Las Vegas situation were they with at least 15 people? It's funny because I think about 15-18 got indicted in the situation. Not saying that those were the guys, but some of them was there. Do I believe the Feds interviewed Big Homie CC? I don't. Right, I honestly don't, bro. Do lies so much, bro, that it's hard to really take into consideration anything he says now. When he says that some of the people who was on the indictment was with Wack 100 and Luce Cannon when they met up in Vegas, that part one no for a fact is a lot, because if you look at the people on the indictment, those are all people associated with Big U, like a Bear Claw. Right at that time, those people were loyal to Big U. They were not hanging out with Wack 100 and Luce Cannon. So when you say things like this, it makes me then question your entire story about what's going on, man. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think, man? Do you guys believe the F Ashley question him to ask him about Luce Cannon having a gun when they met up in Vegas? Let me know. Okay, and if you're still watching, click on this video here on my screen to find out the huge mistake that Sean Kinston just made that got him and his mama 10 years in prison.